Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Um, so I had a really interesting experience flying back from Chicago um, late last night, which was Friday the 13th. And I actually closed my eyes, just listened to some music towards the end of the flight. And of course, love Spirit, love how they work with you. Didn't want me to rest at all. Just started giving me like images where I was like watching a movie all of a sudden, which I'll tell you about. But I know a lot of people enjoy tarot, so I was shuffling a tarot deck that I was seeing to prepare for the video just now. But as I was shuffling it, like the deck just didn't feel right. But I'm like, well, that's just in my head. This is the one they kept showing me. And as I went to take a sip of my coffee, and this is not an advertisement for Starbucks or anything, I turned and saw a different deck, and I was like, oh, that one feels really good, feels really right. And the moment I picked it up, and this leads into the story that I'm going to tell you that I experienced, that I feel is a message for some people or maybe a lot of you. This deck, the moment I picked up this deck, I started singing the song that I was singing when I got off the plane, which was strange because it changed my entire energy when I was getting off the plane. And because I was like originally listening to Christmas music and it didn't feel right, so I just went to play shuffle music on my song. But I love to salsa dance and I love salsa music, and I immediately started singing one of Mark Anthony's songs. And we all know I can't sing on this channel, but like one of the main verses is No hay nadie como ella, and tan besa. Like, so the whole song is about this woman who's like, he's like really in love with her. Like, nothing compares to her. She's so beautiful. His heart feels for her. Like, she's on fire. Like, she's everything. Um, like, he just, like he wants to touch and feel her lips. Like, it's a really sensual song with, like, dancing. But as I was listening to it, and I was, didn't realize I was, like, singing it out loud. I was, like, getting off the plane and walking through the airport. I was even, like, dancing and moving. Like, I could not, like, not move with this song. So as I picked up the deck that I'm going to use for the reading, I immediately started singing the song. So I'm like, okay, yeah, Spirit wants me to use this deck, not the one I was, like, they had originally showed me, and I was shuffling. I was like, I kept saying, well, Spirit, please allow me. I never like to show how I talk to Spirit, or like a lot of channels will show like how they do their prayers ahead of time, because I think that should be private for everyone, how they do their prayers to Spirit or ask or to connect with Spirit. I just always have the highest good and best intention for everyone. I just do it privately for myself because I have my own way, and I think everyone should have their own way. But I even picked up 2 crystals in my hand. I'm like, gosh, this deck just doesn't feel right. So it was so funny. The moment I started shuffling with this deck, that song I just started singing, and I was like, oh, wow, this, no wonder they told me, sip your coffee, because there it was. I just started singing the song again. So we're going to use this deck. I actually really like this deck. It's an Italian deck. I think you guys know I speak a few languages, but there's something about this deck I do. I loved the other deck too, but obviously this is the deck I'm supposed to be using. So when I was on the plane, I thought, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes. Like I think all of you know, I use tarot because I think people on this YouTube enjoy tarot, and it helps connect faster too with Spirit. But for me, I hear things aloud, like my voice talking to you, and I will smell things, taste things, and I see things literally, like watching a little movie trailer. Just here with my eyes wide open. I always ask Spirit not to really disturb my sleep unless it's like an emergency, because I just prefer to sleep without anything. But if I just close my eyes, I'll see things too. So I didn't put that clarification on when I just wanted to be peacefully like flying home on the plane. So I got some really interesting images, and as I was seeing them, I asked for more clarification. So they extended the images more for me, meaning they gave me like a bigger picture of them. And I think I kind of understood more of what the images were. So it's interesting. So I wanted to share them with you because I feel like it'll resonate with some, maybe a lot of you actually. So I saw two girls, like young girls, like I don't know, anywhere between 7 and 10. They were twins. They had they had dark hair and braids, and they were in matching identical dresses. Ironically, it was really creepy. I was shopping for gifts today, and he literally saw them in the store, which, like, synchronicities are also spirit. I saw these two images that they showed me in the store today. I wanted to buy it just so I could show it on the camera, but I thought that's just silly. People don't need that. But they showed them in dresses, and they each had a jump rope, matching jump ropes. It was like a clear jump rope, but like the handles were red. And they were swinging the jump ropes like to play, like, I think it's called like double dutch or something with jump ropes. But no one was playing. Like, no one was jumping. So I got two things out of this. One was you have someone, or maybe you have a twin, I don't know, but I got a couple messages because I'm like, Spirit, I need more clarification on this. So there was like two messages in this image I was getting, was that there's someone who's like a mirror image of you coming towards you, which is representative of like a very, like a soulmate kind of energy, or um, a very close friend who's coming towards you, or someone who deeply understands you. The way twins, they always say identical twins because these were identical girls. I mean, I couldn't have told you who was who coming towards you. But it was also a reflection. It could also be a perfect reflection, like a mirror. So you're looking into a mirror at yourself with a jump rope in your hand. And it's like examining yourself. It's like a mirrored reflection of yourself, which is a different way of perceiving reality. So someone could be trying to mirror you, you could be trying to mirror someone else, or you're trying to better understand who you are, but they're children. So you're trying to better understand your childlike, your happiness, what makes you excited in life, what makes you happy in life. Because maybe you're going through like the mundane routines of life, or always following the rules, or I wake up at this time every day, I do this, I go to work, and I have to attend this and attend that. And it's like you've lost sight of, I can say no to something because I need to, because it's in my best interest. So it's kind of like you've lost sense of, it's like, let me look in the mirror and remember who I am and what I want. Because I knew what I wanted when I was a kid. I knew what my dreams were and what made me really excited and happy. I'm covered in the chills. So I feel like that's a really strong message for a lot of people. Spirit will reinforce me with chills. And so I asked for like a bigger, like more information. And so when I was seeing still the girls standing there, the twin girls with the jump ropes, and they were moving them, just nothing was happening. It panned out, and I saw a boy with dark hair. I wasn't seeing like anything other than twin girls and a boy with like dark hair. I cannot tell you race, ethnicity. That's irrelevant. So spirit won't give you all that. Remember, spirit talks in terms of symbolism and images too, right? So don't take everything literally. It's just these things represent something to people. So jump ropes could represent something to you. The movement of jump ropes, like maybe lack of movement with your body, like the jump ropes and no one jumping in could be a sign of you're not moving. But hey, there's a lot of opportunity for you to jump in and start doing something and you're just not doing it. So there's a lot of symbolism that spirit gives. It's left for people to interpret of how it resonates with you. Like the two twins again could be like partnerships, connections, deep relationships that really resonate are coming towards you or are standing right in front of you and you're not recognizing it, or it's coming towards you and that's why we see jump ropes moving because it's moving toward you. Especially with the other part that I'll tell you that I saw in the image. Or the mirror that they also put like a mirror there to show that it could be a mirrored image of you needing to reflect on something of yourself, what makes you happy again. And then when I saw the little boy, he had chalk and I don't know, do you remember hopscotch? It was like you would draw like a semicircle and then squares, and then the squares would jump out further, like they draw out to like a further rectangle and they draw squares again. But he was drawing them further out, like on this like playground, but they were all in different colors. And when I was looking closely, they were all the colors of the chakras. And it's like wake up to, because he was by himself, but he was drawing and no one was playing hopscotch. I don't even know if people even do that anymore, but it's a simple game and it can be fun. And again, it's movement. So maybe someone's not moving their body at all and they just need to remember to move their body. But it was all the colors of the chakras, and it's also like all the colors of the rainbow, and it's also all the colors of things that could be blocking you from something that you want to unblock, or you feel is hindering you from something. And then when I went and looked back at the twin girls with trying to play like double dutch, which is a game where there's two jump ropes and someone has to try to jump in and not get caught in the two ropes. You have to be able to jump rope really well. I love jumping rope. I used to play it all the time when I was like a kid. There was this long line of kids waiting. And I'm like, what does that mean? So for some of you, you're waiting for an opportunity. Like you're waiting for an opportunity to jump into something. You're waiting for an opportunity to come up. You're waiting for love. You're waiting for a career opportunity. You're waiting for the right time to go to the gym. That's what I just heard. But you're like waiting rather than taking action. So if we just do our daily routine all the time and just wait and hope and expect, but we don't ever change anything, how's something gonna happen? I'm sorry, I'm caught off guard because I remember in a reading a couple days ago, I said, like, I think I said, like, let it go. And I just noticed in my room, I have a phrase that says, let it be. So for some of you, you're trying too hard and you need to let it be and rest. Like, you do need to stand in line and just let it be because the ropes are already in movement for you. It's energy, right? I'm covered in the chills. So that's why I was pausing, because I'm like, that's another message for somebody. Just let it be. It's like you're trying too hard to make something work with someone. So if there's two people moving jump ropes, and if they're not in sync, they will immediately, you have to move the jump ropes just at the right speed to play it right. But if one person's moving it too fast with one arm and the other person's moving at the right angle, or one's doing this and the other one's doing that, you can't play together. So you're right by letting it be, because something's off with the frequency or the energy between two people. So you're correct in thinking, I need to pause. I need to think. I need to have a plan. I need to see, is this correct for me? That's for some of you. And so that was what I was getting as like the plane was descending and we were landing. And I was like, I don't think I can hear another Christmas song. And so I just put my phone on like just play random music. Actually, I went to play samba because I speak, obviously, several languages. So I speak Portuguese as well. So I went to play, I clicked my playlist to play Portuguese, or samba music because I wanted to listen to Portuguese, but I accidentally hit my salsa channel, and like that, my salsa music started playing, and it just shipped because I was really like perplexed by what I was seeing and thinking, and like that, it just changed my entire energy because I was coming back from, as you know, a long work trip, but during that trip too, I have to solve a problem now. So I had to work really late Friday night, and I worked a lot today and worked this whole weekend pretty much. But it just changed everything, and I was so happy and I was so excited that like I couldn't stop singing. That song by Mark Anthony is one of my favorites. Another person sang it originally, but Aguanile played first, which I love. So those of you who know like salsa music know Aguanile. So that played first. So I was singing along and dancing to that. And all of a sudden I'm like dancing as I'm getting off the plane. I'm dancing as I'm getting my bag, and I didn't realize I was singing out loud. And I was singing, and of course, I cannot sing, but I kept singing. No hay nadie como ella. But I was singing the rest of the song because I was hearing the whole thing. But that's what I was singing while I was shuffling this deck. The moment I picked up this deck, I literally started singing, No hay nadie como ella. So somebody views you as there's nobody that compares to you, male or female, because it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously sing about a woman, but it doesn't matter. You could be male or female. There's somebody that thinks nothing compares to you. You're it. And I didn't even realize I was doing that until there were some people by me who spoke Spanish and started talking to me, and I took my earbuds out and started talking to them because they were like, who's that white girl singing all that music and dancing over there? I always get made fun of because I eat the spiciest food, and they're like, are you sure you want to order that? Yeah, I'm sure I want to order that. No, I'm not going to cry. I can eat spicy food. I have no problem making fun of myself. So there's a message too, like I was getting also like, that was my happy place. My happy place is that music and other languages and dancing and laughing and interacting with people and speaking other languages and just enjoying life. Like I just have to let the other problems be that I can't deal with at this very moment and just enjoy where I am right now. So it felt like the children were representing lots of things. Reflect on things that make you happy. That song just changed everything. I could not believe the dynamic in me that changed within seconds. So maybe you have songs that can change your dynamic in seconds, and all of a sudden you are like shaking your hips like Shakira on dancing and you don't even realize it. Because I didn't even realize I was doing it until people were like talking to me and I was singing along. I had no idea that's what I was doing. And I didn't even realize it until I picked up this deck and started doing that. So there's something about getting back to what are your real dreams? What makes you really happy? What makes you really excited? Because that's what realigns your chakras. That's what makes you alive again. That's what makes you spark. That's what changes everything in you, and it radiates out, and I'm covered in the chills. That's what makes you alive. That's your essence. That's your soul. That's your true spirit. And that's what spirit wants you to be. You, the real you. Not everything else. Yeah, we all came down here to learn lessons and experience things, but they want you to be you, the real you. Let it out. Be alive. Live life. That's what they really want. Yeah, that's what they really want. So I have no idea. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. I don't like to just take a whole bunch of cards when they pop out. So I'm going to cut the deck. And let's see what else they have. So I have the 5 of blades, which is like equivalent to the 5 of swords. Blades are swords. But there's only 2 people here. Usually it's like, sorry, I'm moving the camera so you guys can see me. They only have 2 people here. 2 of the swords are on the ground. One of the, let me just get I just want 2 more. Take the top one like I heard. Oh my gosh. So while I was shuffling this, the same card kept coming out again and again. I want one more. I'm going to take this one. Yeah. So sometimes I have to look at the cards and see which ones they want me to talk about first. Okay, they do want me to talk about the 5 of blades first. And then I have the Judgment card. It came out into a perfect square. Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups kept popping. And while I was shuffling, it kept flying like all over the room. Everyone had to keep picking it up. So that card, they really have a message about. And then I have the Page of Wands. But that card came out like every time I was just trying to shuffle. And I kept singing. I actually had my dear friend over there, I won't say her name, play the song so I could even listen to it while I was shuffling because it put me in such a good mood. I mean, I was happy just singing the lyrics, but I was like, I want to hear it while I shuffle. The Mark Anthony song, which is not an advertisement. I'm not advertising any songs. I'm not advertising like salsa or samba or a language over another language. They're all beautiful. I just love languages. I think they're just different ways to communicate, and it's such, that's probably a message for a lot of us too. Different languages can say things one way that we can't say sometimes we can say in English, and that's what makes things so beautiful. I work globally, so what I find so fascinating, I'm staring over here because I keep seeing images. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you, but sometimes they'll just keep getting images and they're showing me Asian characters. But what I find so fascinating is that in certain Asian languages, there's certain words that don't exist that do exist in like the Romance languages, that exist in English and exist in other languages. So there's like a certain words that just don't exist in that language. And so sometimes communication can be difficult, or that's what makes culture so interesting. And that's why I find language fascinating, because we communicate differently. That's why songs are interesting in different languages. Cultures are beautiful. The way people dress, the way they it's all beautiful. Humanity is beautiful. Every country is beautiful in this world if we want to see the beauty in it. So if a word doesn't exist in that language, how can they understand us or we understand them? We then have to try to define it in a different way in that language for them to understand what we're trying to communicate. Or we have all this miscommunication and then more problems arise. So that's what I find so interesting. Or sometimes it's easier to say something faster in another language where it takes much longer to say it sometimes in English. It's just very interesting to me. And I understand Italian too, so I find that kind of fun. But I feel like those of you who live in other parts of the world, understand that different languages, if you can understand me in English, you obviously understand languages can mean different things in different languages. So it's a beautiful thing. And it's what makes the world so beautiful, because all of our souls are connected. We all come from the same place. And all religions and faiths in the end really speak of the same thing, which is really be kind and loving and be peaceful, even though sometimes in the end some can be a little extreme, but that is neither here nor there. In the end, spirit just wants love for all of us. So with the 5 of Blades, there's 2 on the ground. I'm really focused on not even the 2 people fighting. I'm focused more on the gosh, what is it called? The shield and the 2 swords on the ground. Because look, he still has 2 swords. He only has 1, and he's wide open for a kill shot with his shield behind him. And I see 2 guys above that look like twins. Look, they're identical. They're exactly the same. They mirror each other. So it feels like somebody is fighting within themselves, almost about which way to go. Like, do I lay down? Do I lay down my armor and do I be my authentic self and be who I really am with myself even? Because that's really, I'm covered in the chills. It's very hard to even be your authentic self with yourself. And that's that whole mirror thing, like looking at yourself and saying, this is who I really am. I'm going to accept myself for who I am. And it's okay to love myself just the way I am. That is a really hard thing to do. Oh, weird. And there's the Ace of Cups right below it. Sometimes I don't even pay attention to this stuff as I'm talking. But that's a really, really hard thing to do, is to come into acceptance and say, I'm going to love myself just the way I am. And that's okay. I am perfect the way I am. I was created in love and I am love. So I feel like that's that whole mirror thing with the twin image I was seeing, is learning to accept yourself and love yourself just the way you are, and acknowledging that, and just letting go of these, like, well, if I just did this, or if I just lost 10 pounds, or if I just, had this other degree, or if I just had this title at my job, or if I just made this money, then I would be. No, you're already great the way you are. You're already perfect the way you are. It's always good to have goals in life and strive for things. But if we can learn to accept ourselves right where we are, that's where we find the happiness. Where, like, I was dancing, getting off a plane. Even though I know I had this huge problem I have to solve at work. Can I solve it right now? No. But I can still find happiness where I am right now. And I think that's a really important message. Again, I'm covered. Sorry, I keep saying I'm covered in the chills, but I feel like it's an important message for so many people. Is it's okay to be who you are and love yourself the way you are, and to show yourself to other people. Because I don't show my full self, because we all wear masks, right? And that way, that card's not even out. But I feel like a lot of us wear masks and don't show our full authentic selves to everyone. And it's I'm not saying like, oh, now go into work on Monday or Sunday or whenever you work and be like, oh, this is really who I am now. I'm a palm reader. Show me all your palms. I'm not saying do that, but you can start to maybe not feel so guarded if you've always been guarded, and maybe you can show like, oh, I have a sense of humor, and maybe make jokes if they're not offensive, obviously. I mean, in the United States, we have a lot of like training on uh, jokes and things like that. But if they're just like, hey, it's okay to be a little sarcastic and make a joke here and there, like, it's okay to be funny. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to laugh at yourself. None of us are perfect. We're not supposed to be. It's okay to ask for help. No one can know all the answers. It's okay not to try to make up an answer either if you don't know it. So there's something about it's okay to start to be a little bit more of your authentic self too, with your family, your friends, the person you're want to date, or decide I'm going to be more really me when that's part of I'm hearing that's part of let it go of like I know I had said that in a previous reading, but it's also let it be. It's like let it be of that like facade you keep trying to put on of this like act of perfection for some of you. Cuz you already have they're showing me the boy again. I'm seeing the not the boy, I'm seeing the hopscotch he created. I'm literally seeing it right here with all the colors of the chakras. So you have them all in you. It's do you want to activate them all? Because if you activated them all, a spark is lit, is what I heard. And if you light that spark inside of you, something magical happens. Because you have the Page of Wands, and usually he's like this, like they usually say, oh, he's just like this, like low page. He's just fun and flirtatious, but that's not what I'm getting off of this. It's a spark inside of you. It's a spark in you that leads. What is this? There's a guide right above his shoulder. Do you see that? Can you guys see that? There's a person right there. You have a very strong guide with you. But there's a spark. I'm going to say it. Take it as it resonates. And you've got a purple scarf. There's a purple scarf. Purple is the crown chakra, so you're really connected to the divine spirit, universe, source, energy, whatever resonates with you. But I'm literally hearing if you start to be authentic with yourself or with other people, and because it's already in you, all these, I keep seeing this hopscotch thing, but I am seeing this spark. It's like I'm hearing a match. It's like that how a match is lit. I mean, it's what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing this like spark. It's like a spark of a fire. And I'm hearing crackling fire. It's like you're unleashing this forest fire because I'm smelling smoke. But it's not bad. It's in you. You're unleashing it in you, and it's coming out as the sun is like this light. Whatever light it is that you want to emanate. If you want it to be like the crown chakra purple, that's what you'll emanate. If you want it to be, your sacral chakra, you'll emanate orange. It's what you want to emanate. It's this really powerful energy you're going to unleash. It's going to transform your life. It's going to turn it upside down in a positive way. I hope I'm making sense. Because now you're you. And once you transform to yourself completely, It's like you've done a 180, right? You don't do a 360, you do a 180. And now you're you. You're your authentic self, who you really are at your soul level. So there's like new experiences you're going to be having. You're going to start to see more synchronicities that you've never seen before. Like how I saw those two toy twin dolls being sold as a set that were the exact image I saw when I literally closed my eyes like this and I saw them. And then I saw the whole like, jump rope thing. But it was just so weird. They were even in the same dresses I had seen. It was really hard. It was really hard not to buy them just so I could hold it up. But I'm like, what am I going to do with these after I buy them? Nothing. Probably, I guess I could have bought them and donated them to a toy drive, but I've already given lots of toy drives, but I guess I should have done that just so I could hold them up. Oh, weird. Because I said your whole life's going to shift and it's never going to be the same again. And that's what the judgment card represents right here, right? So when you have the judgment card that's going through like a major transformation, it's like life altering. It means, and this is like traditional, this can be, this is Archangel Gabriel, blowing his trumpet, raising people from the dead. This also is the red symbol for the Red Cross. So you may be in some war-torn countries or countries at war, or you need like assistance or assistance is coming. This also makes me think of, which country is that? Is it Switzerland who has a flag like that? You may speak German. It's raining down blue. So that's love, and it's your throat chakra. So you're going to feel you have a voice again. Like you feel like you're like hiding part of your voice. So your voice is going to be very clear. Maybe some of you can really sing and you're not singing and you really want to, or you can really play instruments and you're not doing that. But usually what the traditional judgment card means is total life altering event. Your life's never the same again. It's completely transformed, which is what's going to happen with this spark. And I keep hearing it. I'm hearing wood burning. I'm smelling it. And I'm seeing an entire forest on fire. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I know there's forest fires that happen all the time. I don't mean it's negative. I mean it's within you that this is happening, this total transformation in a positive way. And it's then coming out of you as you becoming yourself, which then reshapes you and how you interact with the world. So these dreams you had as a child come to fruition in different ways. It doesn't like the dreams are shaped because your reality is different now. So let's say as a child, I always dreamt of becoming a superhero, right? Well, and now I'm working as an artist and I'm a painter. I can still save somebody through my art. I still have powers that way. So something in your artwork will salvage and save, because I'm seeing the Red Cross. I'm covered in the chills. It's going to save somebody's life that way. They're going to buy a painting or a photograph or something like that. And it's going to speak to them so profoundly, or they're going to gift it to someone that saves someone's life. I'm hearing it prevent someone from causing harm to themselves. So it doesn't mean like, so these superhero powers, if you had dreamt as a kid of being a superhero, will manifest, but just in a different way. I'm giving an example, but I feel like that example is actually really relevant for somebody. I have to pause because my camera's going to turn off.